It's Monday, February 5th, and for the last couple of days I've been talking about war in the United States. We're at war. And for those of you who don't believe this thing, just think about what's going on. Every other day there's some other incident that involves the Houthis or Houthis, however you say that name, and how they're attacking ships in the Red Sea, and how we, United States, has to reinforce our presence in that area of the world. And if you were paying attention at the beginning of this little talk, you would have noticed that I put up a map that indicates the 50,000 people, 50,000 U.S. military that is in that region of the world, in the region of the world that is known as Yemen. Because if we have that many troops in the area, something is going on. And we are constantly out there trying to defend our commercial ships in the Red Sea. And then it's gotten so bad that we have patrols out there to protect these vessels. But still, the Houthis keep coming at us. And I saw a video of the Houthis dancing on a ship, doing some kind of dance. It wasn't a jig or something nice. And I noticed one thing about the Houthis. There were no women on that ship with. So they are not necessarily a very democratic society in my way of looking at it. But in the event, they're on this ship dancing and getting ready to go to battle with the United States. And they have definitely escalated their strikes on the ships in the Red Sea. And they say that they're doing this because of revenge against Israel for its military campaign in Gaza. And this escalation by Yemen's Iran-backed Houthis has caused the United States and the United Kingdom to launch multiple strikes against Houthi targets in Yemen. And the Biden administration and its allies warned that the group would bear the consequences of their repeated attacks. So based upon these statements, you can't say that we're not at war. You can't dream in the peaceful world that you exist in, that this other world doesn't exist. The Houthi attacks have forced some of the world's biggest shipping and oil companies to suspend transit through one of the world's most important sea routes, the Red Sea. And this force of these companies out of that waterway will probably cause a shock in our global economy. And we've been looking around at lower gas prices right now. So we could have a global shock, and that would not be a good thing. And right now I can tell you it's because of this war. And there's no question how the Houthis come to have the weapons that they have. They're being armed and trained by Iran. And there are many who are afraid that their conflicts could escalate Israel's war against Hamas to a huger, wider regional conflict. So we're at war, the beginnings of war, the middle of the war. Who knows what segment of the war we're in? The Houthis are in the middle of two wars. This is the war that they're fighting with us, and then they're in the middle of a civil war in Yemen. Now they control a huge portion of Yemen, but they're still not the only people who are living there. And so they have a civil war going on there, although right now it seems to be in a ceasefire mode. And maybe that's why Yemen is taking its time and fighting against Israel and the United States, because the battlefront on Yemen is too quiet for them. But if you look at Yemen, it's a disaster. 17 million are currently in what they call food insecurity. And the World Food Program is warning that this humanitarian situation and lack of food and other crucial supplies have the potential to bring millions of people closer to starvation and death. So that's what's going on in Yemen. But do they care about that? Do the Houthis care about that? No. They're busy fighting on this front. They're busy attacking Israel, attacking the United States, running down ships when millions of people in their nation are starving. And so that internal conflict has destroyed the country's infrastructure, Yemen's infrastructure. And this economic collapse has led to a widespread displacement of people. And over 24 million people, over 80% of the population in Yemen, are in need of humanitarian aid and protection. And that's according to the UN. So I say, why are they fighting this war? Why aren't they spending their time and effort helping the starving people of Yemen? That's what they really should be doing. No, they're busy fighting against Israel, against the United States, when they got millions of people out on the streets, out of their homes. So is this a rational situation that the United States is caught in the middle of? And maybe the answer to ending this situation is for the United States to take care of these people, to feed them. Maybe something we could do to the people of Yemen to save their lives, and maybe that would put the Houthis out of business. But I doubt it. I doubt it, because I believe that there are so many of those starving people who are in the country of Yemen agree with the Houthi situation. They agree because they hate Israel. They hate the United States. And so they starve to death, and then they probably blame it on us also. It's a crazy situation. It's a world situation that we don't know that much about. And over 377,000 people were killed in their own civil war. But that doesn't mean anything to the Houthis. They are only interested in killing the Jew. So this situation is a horrible situation. And it's supported by Iran. And nobody cares about the people in Yemen. The Houthis certainly don't care about them. 38% of these people are in desperate need of food and clothing and health. That's according to the UN. And what is the UN doing about it? They can't do much. But their coordination of humanitarian affairs says they need $2.7 billion of funding in order to correct some of the situation. They have to correct this situation. They have to get rid of the Houthis. They have to get rid of Iran. They have to do a lot of major things in that part of the world. So we have a starving nation living on hatred. I leave you with that this morning. Bye.